Food, air, water, the three most important things that keep us alive. Right now, there's a problem with two of them. So how's this going to affect our families? And because the Strait of Hormuz continues to be, well, closed down, open, close, nothing's really moving out of there. Let's look at the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO. Screen grab here, fertilized and non-fertilized crops. Now you can see the difference between the two. Now add in a heat dome, extreme dryness, and we'll see where our crops are, because the heat, the dry, and the no fertilizer, that's a triple whammy. That's what we're getting pretty much in every breadbasket across the Northern Hemisphere. And the FAO even telling you there are going to be lower yields. Get ready for it. These images here, southeast of Yorkton and Saskatchewan, massive floods across the farm fields. Again, the harvest on this, not going to really be doable. So either it's the heat, or it's the dryness, or it's the floods in other places. We're getting it from all directions here. So as you can see, every 1%, 2%, 0.5% chipped away across all these nations growing food. And so far, on the lowest ball estimate I have seen anywhere this year is a crop forecast, although the FAO even says it's going to be at least negative 1.9%. Most estimates I've seen have been between 8-14% globally. So the FAO coming in at the most minimal losses. Maybe they don't want to spook everybody with their policy and decision makers. Global wheat stocks decline as U.S. production hits multi-decade lows. That should be century lows, lowest in 150 years. Looking at a minimum 22% decline. That's what I'm saying. The FAO is just a little bit off. And then if we look on the right side, global wheat balance, there we go, 36% decline. That's a little more like it. And we're running this fine line between organizations trying to put some stability in the markets and not spook everybody versus the reality on the ground and truly what we need to prepare for. There's that huge disconnect, the Grand Canyon of what is and what will be, possibly. I'm bringing this information because if this indeed does pan out the way it looks like it's going to be, everything that's already far higher in price than it was since the pandemic is going to continue higher up in price. How are you going to prepare for that extra food cost is the whole point here. You're going to have to get ready for that because the Hormuz Strait does not look like it's going to open. Far too late for the fertilizer applications anyway. We're not going to get there this year. Next year, possibly. Now we're running on the fuel edge of things. Diesel's going to get really expensive during the harvest season. We're just getting everything culminating at once. So you're going to need an action plan. And let's look at the vegetable oil prices. Palm oil, soy oil, sunflower, rapeseed oil, up. From looks like around 1,000 USD a ton. Will be generous right there, all the way up to almost 1,750 across the board. Another input cost skyrocketing, up 75%, and then that's going to be pushed in, and they'll take an extra couple cents from you across the supermarket on everything you buy just because of this. And what's so interesting about this global agricultural supply coming from the Goldman Sachs investment research arm, the food that's produced is in such a small amount of producers. Because if we look at corn, the lion's share of corn is produced in the green, the red, and the blue. And on the right there, you'll see Argentina, Brazil, and the United States. A center column, soybeans, Brazil is the lion's share, obviously. So if one country were to have a problem, then we all have a problem. And if we go over to rice, I know not a lot of people eat rice in the U.S., although we produce it down in Arkansas. The gray bar, not a large staple in the U.S., but around the world, it's a major food staple. So if, for example, India has a great problem with fertilizer and labor disputes and supply chain issues like they've had, well, that's literally all your eggs are almost in one basket, which is kind of scary. And if we look at palm oil production, Indonesia, Malaysia taking care of that, but that's been expanding in plantations for a while, even though the ecological debate rolls around that one heavy. And then sugar, Brazil. So soybeans and sugar, if something happens in Brazil, we lose, well, a lion's share of the global production of that. 73 miles off the coast of Antarctica, and water so clean they're virtually untouched by human pollution, lives a tiny organism that researchers believe may be one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory nutrients ever discovered. It's called krill. If you've been taking fish oil for heart, joint, or memory support, there's something you need to know. Research shows fish oil is 50% less absorbable than krill oil, because fish oils omega-3s are in triglyceride form, while krill oils are in phospholipid form, which is the same format your cell walls are made of. That means krill oil gets into your cells immediately. In head-to-head studies, krill oil outperformed fish oil at improving cholesterol, reducing inflammation, and easing joint pain. Native Path Antarctic krill oil is sourced from pristine Antarctic waters, contains the powerful antioxidant astaxanthin, and comes in a tiny soft gel. No fishy burps. For my special bundle offer plus free shipping, head to getkrill.com/adapt. That's GETKRILL.com/ADAPT. Try it risk-free with a 365-day money-back guarantee. Click on that link in the description box below. And another nugget off the FAO, they're talking about low-income food deficit countries, meaning really poor places that can't grow enough food. As Sam Kinison would say, if you're living in the desert, move. 1.4% increase, but I'm going to say that's really, really, really low, because here's the map that accompanies the story, and they're showing you at least 4 nations out of Africa with the numbers of these into the tens of millions, and 1.4%. I don't know if that number is going to stick, but it seems like a lot of people are having a lot of problem. Retail prices, sorghum in the Sudan on the left, up and up. And the price of corn, edible corn, maize in Kenya and Uganda, up and up and up. So if you're feeling it at home here in America and Canada and parts of Europe where it's getting really pricey to go out and get a basket of groceries, and you notice they shrunk in the cart sizes, I encourage you to look next time you go in, see if you're receiving the same size cart as you were, say, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Because you know, a shopping cart's been standard for like 50, 60 years, are always the same size. I encourage you to go look and see places like Kroger, Publix, etc., and see if the carts have shrunken. You're going to be shocked. It's not the mini carts that you're pushing, it's just the regular carts. They got to disguise it. Oh, it's half a cart of groceries. Not of the old size, it's not. Understanding the drought impact of El Nino. Getting into some ocean-related things here. Now, this is a good one I pulled off. Ryan Maue over on X, putting this one out. Southern Oscillation Index. And you see, we've already dipped far into the, we got to go back a couple decades territory, but we're going to be rolling back 80 years on this one here. Bringing up with the newest July 15th. Readings off the coast of South America, starting to get a little warm out there, but it's just coastal. As you see, as we pull offshore halfway to Indonesia, we're still waiting for that water to warm up with the air, the flow pushing in there, bringing it to the surface, but we'll see. A little bit of update though. So they're showing October to December 26, an 81% chance of a very strong El Nino. Now, again, a lot of people are paying it in at the 75-year, 80-year event, not the bring us back to 1877, 150-year event, but nonetheless, bars are there to make it super easy to see. I'm not even going to circle anything on the chart. Your eyes should just be able to easily see this. So at the bottom there, August, September, October, looks like we're really getting into it, but September, October, November, December seems at the peak max there, which means a heap ton of snow for the Southeast U.S. If you like snow, you got it this year. And off zero head, strongest El Nino in 75 years, sets off food supply chain alarm bells, ding, 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 most powerful, more than 75 years. A threat to critical food supply chains, which are already vulnerable to drought, flooding, export restrictions, on again, off again conflicts. So that's your distant early warning for food. You can clearly see that something's wrong with the food supply, and not a lot of the forecasters are putting it out there because, again, I'm very much of similar opinion, but I try to bring you the information. If you put this on the front page of every newspaper and every magazine article, and you had it on the 5 o'clock news, 6 o'clock news, food shortages, you're going to cause an artificial panic. They're just going to wait until the harvest come in, and whatever happens, happens. They're not going to really give you a warning that it's happening until it hits the news, and then they've already validated that there's no way to get around it, and you're really going to see it, so might as well tell you then. But if you notice, even when hurricanes or typhoons come in, you can see with really good radars now and different types of atmospheric flow maps, you can see a typhoon coming 7 days out. Blizzards, this sort of thing, extreme Arctic cold, record heat, whatever. But the news will wait until less than 48 hours before they tell you the same thing that they knew about 7 days prior. This is something that's constant across all the news feeds as you go through different seasons and you're looking for different events. They never tell you, even though they know it is coming. It's always the last 48 hours. Then nobody's prepared. Well, why didn't you tell us 7 days ago? We wouldn't have the shortage in the supermarkets, everybody running and fighting for a bottle of water. 7 days could have restocked those stores. Everybody would have had a plenty. But why'd you wait that long to tell people? It's the same thing. You're not going to get any warning. It's just going to be prices up, something happened, whoops, and then you're on your own. So I highly suggest you get some sort of plan B in motion right now. Moving on to the smoke spread for you World Cup fans out there. New York blanketed, hazy, brown, smoggy. But this is the flow, and you can expect that deep dark purple to be affecting people as it moves around. And I got the forecast here for you for the smoke moving out through the next 3 to 4 days. And you can see it breaks and then it resurges itself. And it's going to push further south into Tennessee. Apparently this time it's going to go straight into the southeast. Now, some incredible images coming out as our air quality is, well, less than could be good. A lot of toxics in the air. Be careful if you're out there in any of those zones. Some images coming out just at the daybreak here where you can see the fire in the forest. Coming off of NOAA here, some satellite views for you. Edge of Fire, Coyote Fire, Brewer Fire, East Evans Creek. There's a fair few others up there as well. Apparently, they're not anywhere really under control. Talking about 6 million hectares, almost 12 million acres burned already, and it's just gonna keep on going. Here was a real interesting one. Boat fleeing from the smoke, but we've seen a lot of these. Saw the train conductor guys stuck in a cab there. A lot of people trying to get away by boats on the different lakes or just going out in the middle of the lake and chilling until the fumes or the smoke and the fire passes. And a glimpse from the air here for you, and you can see that. Pretty hectic overall. Just taking a 30,000 foot view, which we just did, even higher because of the satellite. But halfway through 2026, good news for us. The record low global burn, although it's happening in Canada. Luckily, between the years 2012 and 2025 is your average. Comparatively to that year's, which there were a lot more fires, we are, well, that blue line at the bottom, luckily, because these wildfires are so fast, they damage a lot. Wildlife, towns, these sort of things. Glad it is lower than normal this year. At least there's some good news to come out of that. So the overall, as soon as Canada kind of extinguishes, whether there be some rain coming in or not over the next, I don't know, days, weeks, months, we'll see how long it goes. Air, food, and water. We've seen lots of problems with the water. A lot of different facilities need that for cooling, and there's all these things going on with water restrictions, and huge community battles over water. Now we got the air, and we got the food. Those three things in the human domain that keep us alive are all under threat at the moment, all at the same time. That's the biggest takeaway from this. All three, all at once. So you've had some time to get ready. I do wish you the best in your preparations. Please join me on Patreon, Subscribe Star. I've been throwing some posts up there. Going to be trying to whip out a video or so of the things I cannot put up here on YouTube to explain a little more of this. Subscribestar.com/adapt2030 and also patreon.com/adapt2030. And as always, thank you so much for your valuable time. Please hit that subscribe button. You got to click the notification bell, share with your friends and family. Feel free to chop this up and make it into shorts to share across your social media. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.